And welcome back to another edition of The Final Roses, my Bachelorette review, Season 14, Becca's season, Episode 6. Man, before I even get into this episode, make sure you guys like this video, subscribe, leave a comment, let me know what you guys think of this episode. But let's get right into this. You look at Becca and the drama with Chris, and now Lincoln has decided to intervene into the drama and start off this episode. You saw very early on that Lincoln and Chris were going into this alpha male, who's more dominant argument. And the thing is, Chris is, it just didn't make any sense to me how from the very beginning, Chris was just talking about how he was cool with either a one-on-one or a two-on-one. And well, first of all, there is no more two-on-ones. There's only one two-on-one from my recollection per season. And second of all, you should just be focusing on Becca. You shouldn't be talking to the other guys about, well, what you're looking for and the two-on-one. And I did think it was funny, though, how Lincoln and Chris were talking about, well, if you get in my face, I'll beat you up. You can't see me. And how Lincoln's like, I'm not the man to mess with. And honestly, Lincoln, he just puts on this, he has two different personalities. He's got this twin personality thing going on. One second, he's complaining to Becca about how his heart is broken and how he feels hurt, he feels threatened. And then when Chris is around, he acts tough. He acts like he's a tough guy, he's ready to brawl. And it just drives me crazy. Lincoln continues to wear two different hats. One side he's wearing a white hat. The next side he's wearing a hat that has all type of things on it. And it's really, really annoying. So Chris, I guess apparently Lincoln was apparently fat shaming Chris, and then Chris started saying, well, I was 300 pounds and you're fat shaming me, trying to play the victim role. And the thing is, with Chris, as Becca said, the best way to describe Chris is he's a very angry person. He's a very angry person. And when you have that inner conflict within yourself and you're that angry at life, you're just not ready to date, let alone marriage. So these guys, they go to the Capitol. They're in Virginia. They go to the Capitol. You see Abraham Lincoln and George Washington, people that were dressed up as them, and they had the Becca election, where the guys basically tell why they're the best candidate for Becca. And it wasn't even about Becca. They should have made it about Becca, but it was not even about Becca. First shot that Lincoln takes is about how I'm the right guy for Becca because I would never be the one packing my bags, threatening to go home in a similar fashion to Chris. And then Chris takes a shot back at Lincoln and how Lincoln's not being authentic and the rest of the guys are not being honest. And then he brings up the fat shaming and he throws a couple of expletives. So this is not making Becca happy. And Becca, the thing I love about Becca is she's a type of chick who is cool, she's down to earth, and she has a chock full of integrity. She's all about honesty. That's what she wants out of it. She wants honesty. She doesn't want these guys into the drama. There may have been bachelorettes in the past, bachelors in the past who enjoyed the drama because it helps ratings. But Becca's not here for that. She's here for her husband. That's what she's ultimately looking for. And the day could have been a great day where they made it about Becca, but Lincoln and Chris just continue to go at it. And then when Lincoln gets his one-on-one time, he tells Becca that he's threatened and how he's embarrassed by the whole situation and that he's afraid of Chris being in the house and how other guys are afraid of him being in the house. He talks about Connor, how Connor had to move his room, even though Connor never said that. I was never the biggest Connor fan because back when Lincoln and Connor were going at it, Lincoln was doing the same shenanigans, trying to get Becca on his side. The same exact things. But Connor said that never happened because Chris had to confront him about that. After Becca talked to Chris about the situation and how the guys are threatened by him because he appears to be very a physical type of person and the threats he tends to make. And I kind of feel for Chris in the situation that a lot of the gossip and talking that's been going on, it's not all true. A big part of it is just been made up. And Lincoln continues to fib and make Chris look a lot worse than what he may actually be. Granted, I'm not a big fan of Chris, so don't get on my case. I'm just making a point that all this gossip, it adds to the drama, and there's a lot of gossip queens going on throughout this entire season. Especially Lincoln and the drama and the crying, and man, like, I was a big fan of Lincoln when he was one of the first guys to meet Becca on the live Bachelorette, I guess, meetup. One of the first couple guys to meet up. I was looking forward to Lincoln. But then ever since I've seen him crying and playing his two different sides and just being completely unauthentic, I lost touch with him. So, moving forward with Chris obviously confronts Lincoln about it, and Lincoln continues to say, I never said that, and I never said this, even though it's clear Lincoln said that. Just own up to it. And Becca is so upset that she can't continue to go on with these group dates. During the group date, the night date, she's not happy with this. She even had to send Garrett away, tell Garrett needs some time alone now. Garrett's pissed off. He's a pretty even kill guy. So it's just one of those things where I just can't understand why there is so much drama in the house. If anything, and the drama really started from Chris. As Becca alluded to, it's not as if there's anything that Becca gave any signs to Chris that she was not interested. When Chris decided to meet up with Becca alone, trying to catch up with her, trying to rekindle his relationship with Becca, she even told him. She told him, I don't understand where this is coming from. I always liked you. I gave you the first one-on-one. Things were working out very well. They were very chummy. And then all of a sudden, Chris decides to get a big head. He gets arrogant. He's very bombastic. And he has this idea that, well, I'm the Bachelor. I don't need to put any effort in. Becca's going to come to me. And there's he constantly tries to guilt trip Becca into not liking him, making her believe that she's not doing enough. When obviously she's done enough. She's been going out to 25 other guys. It's the Bachelorette. It's not all one-on-ones. You have to compete with the other guys. Other guys have to get their time, and you need to take advantage of the time that you are afforded. So Chris, as I said before, Chris basically, he goes into it. He basically goes back and forth with Becca. One second he's trying to guilt trip her. Next second he's saying that, oh, well, I can see myself marrying you at the end of this. What? You could see yourself marrying her? Weren't you the same guy who was packing your bags, saying, I'm done with this, I'm out, I'm done? And Becca, she's not a bumpkin. She's very intelligent. She sees right through you. You're very transparent, Chris. So she saw right through that. She said that, I don't know where that's coming from. One second you're saying that you're leaving, now you're saying you could see yourself marrying me. And then Chris continues to go on about the same things, about how he's going to make this work. He doesn't give up easily. And then Becca just has to send him home. It's bye, Felicia. Absolutely bye, Felicia. And then Chris tries to get all tough. Oh, well, I don't need you, and I don't need you to walk me out. And then that can be difficult. The dreaded Bachelor walkout. Let me walk you out. That's the quote. Let me walk you out. They always say that on The Bachelor, Bachelorette. It can be tough, but you just got to take it like a real man, accept the fact that you just were not compatible, and move on. So I was happy to see Chris go. Many of the other guys were happy to see Chris go. As they said, he's very destructive. I thought that was a great shot of how they had Chris writing down in his journal very, very meticulously by himself, very disgruntled. And Chris, as Becca said, he's an angry guy. I can't have this guy. I would never want to be with a guy to this degree. I would never have a guy like this raising my kids and being in marriage with. Because obviously, if he's acting like this on the show, he's bound to act like this when there's no cameras around. So, enough of that. Chris drama. It was a good drama. It added to the show, but we're done with that. I want to talk about a couple of the one-on-ones. First of all, let's talk about the Jason one-on-one. Jason's been dying for a one-on-one. Obviously, Becca and Jason have a little chemistry, despite the fact that Becca did forget his name at one point earlier in the season. So they had a pretty good one-on-one date. You can see, as Becca said, she loves kissing him. They have great chemistry, but she does not quite know why they have great chemistry. I do think it was cool how Becca surprised him with bringing some of his hometown friends at their date. She met his friends. They had a talk. And one thing I did think was hilarious during the date was when Becca asked one of his friends, what kind of partner would Jason be? What kind of partner is Jason? Now, how is Jason's friends going to know what kind of partner Jason is? I befuddled me a little bit. I was like, what? Becca? You're asking his friends what kind of partner? I think his ex-girlfriends would be more apropos to answer that question about what kind of partner he is. But I got the symmetry. And basically what Jason was saying, that is with his friends, if you take me, you'll have all my friends. We're a very supportive bunch. Same thing with Becca. If she takes Jason, then that means that it's Becca and all of her friends, because they had that type of camaraderie. So I'm kind of with Becca. I don't quite see where they're compatible. I think that Becca is attracted to Jason. I think they have chemistry. But I don't really see the deeper stuff, even though they did talk about, Jason talked about his grandmother and how she had Alzheimer's and how serious that was. So I thought that was a deeper level type of conversation. And Becca, she lost her father when she was 14. So Becca definitely went into that. That's a very difficult pill to swallow, given the fact that she lost her father at such a young age. And clearly she's looking for a guy who can virtually be that man in her life right now, someone who resembles her. Resembles her father. She alluded to that before with Gary, how Gary reminds her of her father. So I thought that they did have a good date. They got to a deeper level, and Jason's absolutely right. You can't take any moment for granted. And apparently he's definitely taking advantage of every opportunity he has with Becca, hence he got a one-on-one rose. So next, I want to talk about our one-on-one date, Becca and Leo. I thought that the Leo and Becca one-on-one date was a complete shocker. I think that Leo's one of those guys. He's truly been the dark horse. You don't really see a whole lot of dialogue between him and Becca, but obviously Becca's into the guy. She's into the guy, and she's a little bit curious. He has this mysterious vibe about him. I think that early on, people didn't really take him really seriously. I think Becca didn't even take him very seriously, but you can see right now, she's seeing something in this guy. And so far, it's been, I'd say that on their one-on-one date, they were shucking up some oysters. They got a nice alone time. I think Leo doesn't come off as the most confident person, as he alluded to when they had the dinner date, about how he has little doubts in himself. He's always tried to look up to his father and live up to his father's expectations. He was a baseball player, Leo was, and how he never could get to that next level of baseball. So at times he's felt as if there's a lot of areas in his life where he has foibles in different areas that he's not confident about. Even when Becca said it was obviously a perfect moment for Becca and him to have a kiss, but then Leo was very hesitant about it, and it was just like he didn't really go for it. So Becca had to tell him to take the initiative. Just kiss me already. And I feel like Becca's been doing that a lot with the guys, but apparently some of these guys just aren't ready to take an initiative. And I think even though Becca, it's an ongoing theme, the 50-50, I still think that ultimately Becca will be the one who will tend to be more the dominant one in a relationship, to push the guy to do things that he couldn't necessarily feel like he could do. So anyways, they had a nice date. They shared kisses here and there. He ended up getting a rose, which I'm happy for Leo. Leo's been a down-to-earth guy, a cool guy. He's a bit of a kook, but they tend to work out, even though I don't think it'll be a long run thing. So anyways, let's get to the fact after that they had the group date. I would say towards the end of the last group date, there was no cocktail party, which is like two of the most dreaded words, especially when Chris Harrison comes out. You know that things are about to go down, and no cocktail party. Becca really made her mind up, and during the rose ceremony, one of the guys, the last guy to get the rose was Wills. I've been rooting for Wills, even though I don't think Wills will be the guy she selects, but I'm still rooting for Wills. They had some type of chemistry, as I can see. Kisses here, kisses there. But the two guys got sent home are the two guys that had the drama from the inception of this show, and that is Connor and Lincoln. And Connor, he started to die down a little bit. You didn't see as much of him, so I didn't really have such a big problem with Connor. I thought Connor was okay. Later on, I was not the biggest fan of him, so he got sent home. And then Lincoln, the guy, the drama queen, gossip queen, Lincoln, finally gets sent home. I was so happy that Lincoln got sent home because I was getting tired of Lincoln. Lincoln was just annoying me. It was just too much of Lincoln. Crying this, crying that, fibbing here, fibbing there. So he got sent home. There's no more of the drama. Lincoln and Chris are gone. Adios, amigos. No more of that. And I think that Becca, one thing I really like about Becca is she's so authentic. She keeps it real with every single one of these guys. She even said from one during the episode, she mentioned that she's looking for a husband at the end of this. She obviously wants an engagement, but she's okay whether it's an engagement or a commitment to see what is next in our relationship as a long-term partner. That's what she brought up, and that she's okay with either or. So she's been very serious, and that's very hard to find. A lot of the people that are contestants for the show, how authentic are they? How authentic are they? And Becca, she's probably been the most authentic Bachelorette I've seen ever. And that's why I love Becca. Becca just might be the best Bachelorette. Yes, I said it. Becca just might be the best Bachelorette. So next episode of The Bachelorette, they will be in the Bahamas. I'm looking forward to that. Nice way to get away. Another getaway at the beach. White sands, clear water, sipping on some daiquiris, having a good time. And it's going to be very interesting to see how things progress in the Bachelorette Nation. So, anyways, thank you for watching this video. If you love this video, please leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think. I will do another episode next week. And remember, I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear, but what you need to hear. Rest my case.